bunch of stuff in here that's kind of important. Otherwise, it wouldn't get in the handout. So it's like one of those oxymorons there. So the last thing that we're going to do, like after I'm done going blah 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 for a little bit, if we look at, it's like this page 5 that talks about intimate relationship model. And it has like the 2 columns, healthy relationship. And then the addictive relationship. And the part where we're gonna, like do interactive stuff is off. And just like decide to do that. Okay. That's what we're gonna do, like for like an, like, do you see that? The addictive relationship, the healthy relationship. It's just before the passive aggressive and assertive behavior. But we're gonna get to that in like last. That's just what we're gonna do, a discussion or like a process over. Right. So if you back up one page and it looks at like pretty kind of contracts that we have with people. I batter you and I need your permission to batter you. Kind of terrible, huh? So, if you solve my problems for me, then you control me, therefore I cannot permit you to solve my problem. But I have to have you solve my problem, yeah. So it's like one of those convoluted, self-canceling, like I said, a lot of this stuff is just these self-canceling kinds of systems, feedback loops. It's like I have to do it, I can't do it. It's a lot of that happens over and over and over again in different kinds of ways. It makes it really crazy making when you're trying to understand what's going on. Like for example, if we go back to like that model that I used earlier about the survival system. So because when people are talking to like friends or relatives or whoever, that's an addict or an alcoholic, and or they're in a like a violent relationship or whatever, and you talk to them, and you're like, what you might get one day, you might get, I'm done with this, I'm had it, I'm out of here, I'm not going to put up with this crap anymore, I'm going, I'm done, I'm gone. All right, so in terms of the system, then what it is that where they're at in the system is that place where the true self is showed up. The true self is done, right? So you got like hope, acceptance, true self, act out, get caught. So if I'm here, I'm going to be talking one way. If I'm here, where I'm going to be trying harder to make it work, I'm going to be talking a whole different story. We can make this work. I know we can make this work. If we just work together to make it work, it'll work. So that's what makes it kind of crazy making for helpers. It's like depending on where the person is in their own survival system, that's the dialogue you're going to have. So you end up, if you're a helper and like counselor type or whatever, you have like a script that you use that matches where they're at. I got to meet you where you're at. Otherwise, we're getting nowhere. Right? So I have to meet you where you're at. So I'm the one though that has to figure out where you're at. Because for the most part, you don't know where you're at. You're just stuck in this, like meat grinder. So, I don't know why I went off on that tangent, but it was important. So, the other definitions that we're going to work with is, and we're going to really work with this more next week than now. I'm going to introduce these as roles survival roles that we just identified, you know, family hero, scapegoat, lost child, and whatnot, we establish those as the survival roles that, you know, that you're gonna adopt. And to some degree, they're unilateral. I mean, it's like, they're one-dimensional, you know, and it's like unilateral in the sense that I get to choose it, then I'm stuck in it, I made my bed, I lie in it, and it's like that's all I get to be as the scapegoat or the lost child or whatever through my whole childhood, more or less. There's things that'll pivot, you know, it's like when when I switched with one of my brothers, for example, you know, it's like there's ways to do that, but it usually is a function of outside forces, you know, it's like, so, you know, something changes and then the family system adjusts. So you don't see that much movement. Alright, so that's survival role. So the other roles that are here have more to do with dynamics, like, so the way we play the game. So if we're gonna play the codependent game, I'm gonna be in character as a family hero, but then we're gonna play a game that also has roles that we adopt, but then we move through. The roles that we adopt are in the rescue triangle, so it's abuser, rescuer, and victim. So these enable us to then engage in a game, right? So I'm going to bounce around with this one. So abuser, let's define the term. So the abuser is the position where I'm using fear to manipulate. Give me what I want and I'll beat you up. I mean, it's a pretty straightforward, you know, like what you see is what you get sort of, position or role that you play when you're operating from abuser, right? So I'm manipulating the system through fear. You know, it's like, so I'm going to show up, you know, like I'm going to either kill you or kill me. I'm going to hurt you or I'll hurt me. Either case, it's abuse. You know, so you'll get this like abuser, it's like I'll punch you out, that's obvious abuse. But let's say I'm a teenage girl and I don't have the strength. So what am I going to do? I'm going to cut myself. And you made me do it. So I'm going to abuse myself, you know, as a way of creating fear in my parents. Because I might accidentally, you know, like cut myself properly, you know, and nick, an artery, you know, and bleed out, and it's all your fault. So the abuse is either, you know, I'm going to abuse you or I'm going to abuse me. I mean, alcoholism is I'm abusing me. I'm an abuser, but I'm abusing me. You know, I'm abusing you sort of indirectly, but I'm abusing myself. So abuse is kind of at least multi-dimensional. You can spread the wealth here, you know, you can use everybody, you know, it's like when the dog walks by, you kick him. So, but my point though is that I'm manipulating the system through fear. This is what I want, give it to me, or I'll abuse you, me, or the dog, or whatever, right? So that's like kind of what's happening, right? So how this sort of sets up then, because it's also, abuser is more, like, how do I say this? It's like, it's typically after the fact. Like, you didn't give me what I want, so I'm going to abuse myself as a way of encouraging you to give me what I want in the future. So you know, I mean, I'll do it. Like, if you don't give me what I want, I'm going to abuse myself. But it's like it's usually there's a pattern involved where you know I will abuse because I've done it before. But I'll tie it to something, you know, like you didn't give me what I need, so I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to kill you. Whatever. So it's like, you didn't meet my needs. This is how it sort of sets up as a statement. You didn't meet my needs. So therefore, I need to abuse you or me. Right? So it's punishment after the fact. You didn't meet my needs, so I'm going to abuse you or me. Right? Make sense? Right. So here's where it gets another convoluted little piece to the whole puzzle we've got going on. Why didn't I get my needs met? Well, primarily because I never asked. I didn't say, I'm having a bad day, can you give me a hug? I didn't ask to get my needs met. I expected you to get my needs met. Remember when we were talking about control? What's control? We have a list and then a reward punishment system. Remember? What's the list then in codependency? It's your job to take care of me, to meet it's your job to know what my needs are, because I probably don't know what they are. I'm just a mere man, so I have no emotional self-awareness. So it's your job to know what my needs are and to meet those needs, you know, effectively. But as we saw also a minute ago, but I can't let you meet those needs because I don't deserve it because I'm not okay. I mean, so that's the other piece to this that makes it convoluted as hell, yeah. But as far as this is concerned, the role definition, that's like, you did not mind read what my needs are and meet them, therefore I need to kick your ass. Okay, so if we break this apart then and go, wait a minute, you didn't ask to get your needs met, screw you, you don't have the right to abuse me at all. Which then sort of uncovers, this is the message I send to you. The message I send to myself is, I don't deserve to get my needs met because I'm getting my needs met by force. So I don't deserve to get my needs met because I'm getting my needs met by force. So I don't deserve it. So we end up then with some deeper statements that then reinforce the core belief we were talking about earlier. So when I say you didn't meet my needs, I'm sort of telling you that you are worthless. You're a worthless piece of shit, you didn't meet my needs. But I'm a worthless piece of shit because I need to get my needs met by force. So I'm sending on both sides of the coin here, when I abuse, I'm sending an I'm worthless message. I'm worthless and you're worthless as well. So I'm sending a worthless message on both sides of the coin. So abuse sends this message this way and this way, out and in. It's one of the reasons then why abuse, I mean, if you think about the abuse, you know, like getting one's needs met by force, why does it not work? Well, really it boils down to this message, you know, because you're sending I'm worthless, you're worthless messages out to the universe, and it just backfires, you know, and the whole thing just falls apart. You know, it just can't work in a sense. I mean, it's the way it's kind of put together. It's just going to hit, you know, out here, the universe, the real world, and it's just going to fall apart. Doesn't work. Okay. Okay, victim. So the victim is going to manipulate the system through guilt. So the victim is one of the trickier archetypes that we play with. So if I define victim in a slightly different way, and next week I'm going to flesh out abuser and rescuer a whole lot more, and victim as well. But one of the things I want to point out about victim here is if we define victim, we're going to define it as having at least these three characteristics. I am feeling, or in a place where I feel helpless, hopeless, and powerless. If one of those three is not there, it's like a tripod. If one of those three isn't there, you can't be in victim. So what I'm going to do as a counselor is try to kick out one of those legs. Helpless, hopeless, or powerless. So helpless, I can't help myself. I'm too small, I'm too weak, I'm too female, I'm too whatever, but I can't help myself. And I'm going to go, whoa, wait a minute. None of those things anymore. It used to be true, but maybe, okay. So hopeless is more about there is no God, there is no hope. It's like I'm screwed. Depression, despair, and suicide is what I'm looking forward to. That's hopeless. Power has to do with choices. I don't have any choices. So usually you find out somebody's running victim through this particular powerless place. Because there's somebody who'll come to you and go, wow, this is all going on wrong with my life. And you go, oh, well, have you tried this? You offered them an option. And they answer, yes, but. Yes, but. Yes, but. So powerless is usually a function of, why don't you, ... yes, but. They refuse all the options that you give them. Which what it does, for most people anyway, you get frustrated with them being so obstinate, and you come over here and go, well, in that case, you become their next abuser. You got manipulated. Now they can hang out in victim and go, my counselor even hates me. That's not funny. Yeah, so as soon as you get caught in why don't you yes but, go time out, breathe and go, what do you think will work? Yeah, throw it right back at them. Here's your problem. I obviously can't fix it. So what do you think will work? What have you tried in the past that worked with it? What have you heard might work for you? It's like I stopped giving advice or options and prompt them to come up with their own solutions. And they either say you don't care, you heartless son of a bitch, and leave, which is okay. Or, they actually come up with, well, maybe that'll work. They come out of victim, they find an option, that they might actually do. So, with people in 12-step programs, I usually have less trouble because I kicked out this one, hopeless. I kicked that leg of the tripod out. I go, you need to work the first three steps on this problem, then come back and see me. In other words, find your higher power. Then you're not hopeless anymore. So that makes it a lot easier, when I got somebody in a 12-step program, I can just kick them over there, and boom, hopelessness gets, and then they call me up and go, I don't know why I couldn't see this before. Because you were stuck in victim, that's why. Okay, so one of my messages I'm sending here, it's like, essentially you didn't meet my needs, you just hurt me. You just essentially hurt me. It's like you're not only you're not meeting my needs, it's like you're hurting me. You know, so what is that? You know, it's like, and by sitting here and taking it, I'm hurting myself. I mean, one of the problems we always have with that, you know, it's like the victim blaming that goes with, you know, like domestic violence. Why don't you just get out of the relationship, right? So that's victim blaming. It's also at some level a legitimate question. And if I ask that question as a legitimate question, it's because it's an addiction. I'm stuck in an addiction and I haven't been able to get out yet. You know, I tried and tried and tried, you know, I filed restraining order after restraining order, but I can't quite get out yet. I'm stuck there. And a part of the reason why, you know, is, you know, the victim place that I'm in. It's like, you know, you're hurting me, you know, but I keep hoping that you'll stop. You know, there's this, you know, hope that I'm going to stop. But it sort of reinforces the thing. So you're worthless, I'm worthless over here. You're hopeless, I'm hopeless is over here. So if I keep reinforcing my hopelessness, I can't get out. You know, because there's no God, there's no hope, there's no nothing, you know, I'm screwed. You know, so I might as well just make the best I can of the bad situation I'm in. You know, maybe magically something will happen. So I get stuck, right? Got it? Victim. The rescuer, okay, so with abuser victim, if you're in a system where just those two elements are in play, you'll leave. I keep abusing you to get my needs met and you don't do it, so I go, screw it, I'll go find somebody else. Sooner or later, I'm going to quit flogging a dead horse and leave and go find somebody else. Conversely, if you know, sooner or later, I'm going to get tired of you punching me out and I'm going to leave. I don't deserve this crap, I'm out of here. So this is, in a sense, an unstable social system. It's unstable, it'll fall apart fairly quickly. What holds the whole damn thing together is the rescuer. That's what makes the system stable. So this is one that, like next week especially, we're going to really examine, because this is the one, this is the insidious one that all of us sort of get stuck in, and then all, you know, rescuer is also what we started with. You'll see it, the rescuer is the enabler. I'm taking responsibility for your problem. Why? Why would I take responsibility for an alcoholic's problem? Whatever would I do that for? What's the thinking? What are you, nuts? I mean, it's like, why would you do that? Why would anybody take responsibility for an addict or alcoholic's problem? Why? I don't know. Tricky, huh?
Because you care about them, because you love them.
Now you owe me the rest of your life. That's why. I'm going to create you as my dependent so you'll never leave me. I know! And it looks so good when we were looking at it. I'm being helpful. I'm going to help you out here. I mean, it looks so wonderful. I mean, you know, when you kind of look at it, you know, at least, you know, at first blush, it looks like compassion, you know, and love and support and loyalty and you name it, you know, it's like, that's what it looks like. But you scrape off that layer and you start looking at the dynamics or what is actually going on with that dynamic, the rescue dynamic, is what I'm doing is I'm creating a dependent. so they won't leave me. So I'm gonna take responsibility for your problem because you're too screwed up to do it yourself. That's the hidden message it's in that. You know, it's like you're just like, again, it's like you're back to worthless, you know, and hopeless and, you know, whatever. It's like you can't take care of yourself, I will take care of you because you're too screwed up to take care of yourself. So that's like the basic message. You know, it's like, I'm gonna take responsibility for your problem, you know, because you're too screwed up to take care of yourself. So, I told you you're too screwed up, worthless, whatever it is, but the flip side, what the message I'm sending myself is, you know, it's like, I'm pretty hopeless or worthless or whatever-less, that I have to, down here, get my needs met by force. Up here, if I need to get my needs met by holding somebody hostage. That's what happened, I ended up holding them hostage. Their dependency, you know, is basically how I'm holding them hostage. You know, so, I can't, more nicely, I can say it, you know, it's like, I don't want to take the risk of asking for what I need, because I don't believe I'm worth it. I'm not worthy to get what I need. So I can't risk asking for what I need. Same way with abuse. I can't risk asking for what I need. I need to fear trip you. With the rescuer, I'm going to make you dependent on me so I don't have to risk asking for what I need because you owe me. Get it? So that's being held hostage. You know, so I'm going to hold them hostage, you know, in that kind of, you know, as a function of the rescue, you know, part of this whole thing. So what is that? So what am I saying to myself? I don't deserve to get what I need. You know, because I'm worthless, hopeless, whatever. You know, and so the result, that's why I have to do it through dependency. So guilt here, fear here, dependency here. Which sounds nicer than holding somebody hostage. But, you know, there's other ways of holding people hostage, you know, it's like, so, one of the, because you can do this, these start blending together. Like, one of the ways I can hold you hostage is remind you that back when, you know, we've been dating for 3 weeks, you know, and you went out with your girlfriends to have fun. Somebody had a birthday party, you know, and you're 23 years old. So you went out to the birthday party with your girlfriends, you know, and, you know, I texted you and said, how's it going? And you texted me back and said, well, I'm headed home now, but I didn't go home because I was, you know, drinking and having too much fun. And so I get to hold that against you if I want to the rest of your life. Remember when you lied to me when you were 23 years old? That was 40 years ago! It's still... So I'm going to hold you hostage over stuff like that. You know, I mean, that's another form of hostage taking. So what is hostage taking? I do this. I'm the aggrieved party, and you are, now owe me something. And it's never something you never repay either. Like, okay, what do I owe you? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, if I do this, then this is gone forever. You're not going to hold it against me forever, right? No, I'm going to continue to hold it against you forever. This is a partial payment. It's not funny at all. So, okay, so we've got these 3 roles then that are about the dynamic of running the rescue triangle, that all those other roles, you know, this is the game they play, and they bounce from one to the other. As if you read through the handout, one of the ways that we talk about the rescue triangle, you play one role, you play all three. So you're bouncing around this. And it's like, so one way that you see this is that you've done me wrong, so I'm playing victim, and so that gives me the right to abuse you. But since you've done me wrong, you have to rescue, because it's all your fault that I abused you. I wouldn't have hit you if you hadn't pushed my button. You're right, honey. I'm sorry. Let me go make you a drink. Because we're both alcoholics by this time anyway. You get it? So boom, boom, boom. It's sort of bouncing around. So you can play this in your own head. You can rescue and abuse and, play victim, in your own head. You can play it with other people. It's pretty versatile. You can see this being played out on the political stage on a daily basis. So, yeah.
Free press is the abuser.
Yeah, really, you see it, because it's like, victim, 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 voters rescue me. Yeah, so, got this? Yeehaw. Okay, so, one more little break, and then we're gonna get into stuff where you get to talk. Now. Do you want to talk?